Paul and I started dating in high school, and we got married in 1993. I still had 2 years left of college, and after we'd been married 5 years, we found out that I was pregnant. We didn't find out if we were having a boy or a girl. We wanted it to be a surprise, but come to find out it was our oldest son, Caleb. He was a boy.
So we waited 5 years after that to have our second child, and again, we didn't find out if it was going to be a boy or a girl, but we gave birth to, or actually Jill did the birth giving. She gave birth to our second child, Noah. Then Jill got pregnant with our third child. We went to the doctor to find out if it was going to be a boy or a girl, and we found out that it was going to be a boy too. So it's kind of set in, hey, there's no girl coming for you.
Paul had always wanted a little girl, but I had also determined that since I was 33 now, I was done having babies, whether this was a boy or a girl. But since we had already talked about adoption, this was kind of where we knew that we were having 3 boys, that we started seriously thinking about adoption.
Over time, we began hearing more and more people talk about adoption and kind of just talking about how God had a heart for orphans and how God cared about orphans and that we should too as Christians. And so in March 2010, we began the process of applying to be in a program for American World Adoption Agency, as well as beginning filling out paperwork to get in the adoption process.
We spent 8 months doing paperwork. Well, really, I spent 8 months doing paperwork. And then on November 12th, 2010, we officially were put on the waiting list for an infant girl in Ethiopia.
At the time we turned in our paperwork, they told us that it would be 7 to 9 months, or 7 to 11 months was the waiting time to get an infant girl. And so we were looking forward to that happening maybe by the summer of 2011.
And we were moving up the list quickly. We started at about number 32, and we moved up to number 18 in just a matter of 3 or 4 months. And we just thought it was going to keep rolling.
Yeah, and then in May of 2011, or April or May of 2011, things came to a screeching halt in Ethiopia adoptions, and they went from giving out 100 referrals for adoptions a day to 5 referrals for adoptions a day.
For about a year, we stayed just barely creeping along or barely moving up at all, and we were really starting to think, is this ever really going to happen? And then on June 25th, 2012, then that changed.
I was going to speak at a camp in Corpus Christi, Texas, and my plane landed about 1:30 that afternoon, and when I turned on my phone, it was instantly ringing, and I looked down and I saw Jill's number pop up and her name pop up on my phone, and I answered the phone, and Jill said, "Paul, you're not going to believe this, but we got a referral." And my immediate first thought was, "Jill, you're lying. I know that's not true." And then I thought, wait, no, she wouldn't do that joke. I would do that joke, but she wouldn't do that joke. And she told me, she said, "Paul, I'm looking at pictures right now." I pulled my iPad and I went to my email, and about that time she had sent in pictures, and I looked down and I saw the most beautiful little girl that I'd ever seen in my life. Her eyes were so big and so sparkly, I just couldn't believe it.
And we knew that the courts were about to close down in Ethiopia at the end of August. But we got a call on a Monday telling us, you need to be in Ethiopia by Wednesday.
So we got on a plane on Tuesday. We got the call on Monday, got plane reservations. We're on the plane on Tuesday and landed in Ethiopia on Wednesday night.
On Thursday morning, we loaded up in a van with 3 other families, and we went to the transition home. And we were able to meet Julia and actually hold her and play with her and feed her for the first time.
So on Friday morning, after we spent the day with Julia on Thursday at the orphanage, on Friday morning we go to the Ethiopian family court, and we met with 5 other couples there, and the judge asked us a few questions, and then at the end of that time, she made the statement. She said, "You're now the proud parents of this child."
That was really a powerful and emotional moment when she said that the child is yours, when we knew that Julia was ours forever. And we knew we only had a few more days there, and we were going to have to leave her for about 6 weeks. But at that moment, we knew that she was officially ours.
So about 6 weeks later, we got a call that we cleared all of our paperwork, had cleared the embassy, and so we could come back and pick her up and bring her home to be in America. And so me and Jill and both of her parents went with us, and we went to the orphanage. we picked her up, and we knew that the next stop would be to have her home in America.
On October 6th, my mom and I and Julia arrived at DFW Airport. And when we walked through the doors, there were a bunch of family and friends there, and everybody just came up and wanted to meet Julia and see her, and were taking pictures. And it felt so great to have all of our children together. Since we've been home, things have been great. Julia's been happy, she's growing, she's just been awesome. It's been great for me to watch our 3 boys just love on her and help her, and she is going to be spoiled rotten.
I always knew that I wanted a little girl, but I didn't know exactly how God was going to make that happen. And so it's been great to see that not only did God have a plan for Julia here, but He also had a perfect plan for our family.